screen. And yes, thank you for connecting your friends as well to our handles. It's always a pleasure to be with you guys today. I'm one of Ogogo, and I'm so delighted to be on set with you today. Today, we're talking about fertility preservation and egg freezing. So, I think we've been talking a lot about fertility preservation. So, we have someone, a very, very amazing person, yes, to give us a lot of information on this topic today. But before we talk about her, right now, share this link with someone, call up someone. Like I would say, if you need to send data to someone, do that right now. So they're able to get as much information as you'll be getting this afternoon. Yeah, I'm back to the guest for the show today. We have Dr. Deborah Olubi.
Thank you.
It's good to have you with us, Dr. Deborah.
Thank you very much.
So for
Always a
this,
pleasure to be here. Thank you for me.
we're most delighted to have you as well. Okay, so for the sake of someone watching for the first time, a little Dr. Deborah, she's a family physician. She's a fertility specialist. She's also an IVF specialist as well. And she's the head of IVF department at Alps Hospitals. Wow. So all your IVF issues, send them to our table. I should definitely attend to them. But right now, today, she's talking about fertility preservation and egg freezing. As we get started right now, feel free to drop your thoughts, your comments, your questions in the comment section. I will definitely attend to them appropriately. So, viewers, sit back and enjoy the show. Okay, so Dr. Deborah, we've actually been talking about fertility preservation
Preservation,
for quite some
yes.
time.
Yeah.
But I think today we're dealing with egg freezing. So
Okay.
what's your whole what's the whole idea of this fertility preservation with your experience over time? What's your whole idea, or what's the whole idea behind fertility
Preservation.
preservation?
Yes. Like you mentioned, we've been talking about fertility preservation with regards to
Hmm.
treatment patients with cancer, but it's not just limited to them.
Okay.
Yes, it's fertility preservation is broader.
Oh.
Yes. So when you're talking about fertility preservation, you're just looking at methods to preserve or protect a person's reproductive capacity for future use. So
Hmm.
you're just trying to preserve the person's gametes
Okay.
for future use. And this can be necessary for different reasons.
Oh.
There are different reasons why a person might want to preserve their reproductive gametes, their fertility potential.
Potentials
They're increasing their chances of having a child that is biologically related to them
to
in
them.
future, because we know
Hmm.
that the way God has created man,
Yeah.
fertility potential is not the same throughout your
Forever.
life. It
Yeah.
declines with
Hmm.
age, especially in women. Even in
Okay.
men, it
It
declines with age,
declines.
but
Hmm.
more so in a woman.
Okay.
So a woman is not going to be fertile or able to have children forever.
Forever.
So there
Hmm.
might be, life is dynamic, and then in today's society, or
Hmm.
delay being parents, a
Hmm.
lot of,
Okay.
and fertility preservation is one of retain your capacity to have children that are biologically related to you in future.
Oh wow.
So egg freezing is just one of the ways you can do this.
Preserve.
Yes,
Okay. Okay. Well, so viewers, you've heard a little about what fertility preservation is all about. So it's more like saying saving for the rainy day or
exactly.
saving
Saving
for
for
the
the
future.
future. Yes.
As long as see a better future regard of your
Yes.
yes. Okay. So um, who do you think freezing of oocytes for? Like, okay, egg freezing. And told us that egg freezing is one of the ways to
Wait.
preserve your
Yes.
a woman's fertility. So who are the people that let's narrow it down now to egg freezing. So we'll
Okay.
talk a lot more
Yeah.
about
So
egg freezing.
fertility could your fertility could be at risk from various reasons. Like we talked about
Okay.
cancer. So cancer and cancer treatment is one of the things that could affect your reproductive capacity, reduce
Okay.
your fertility.
Mm.
Yeah, so women with cancer, women undergoing cancer treatment, women that are having surgeries that are going to affect their ovaries,
Okay.
their reproductive organs. They
Yeah.
might consider,
Freezing before the
freezing, yes,
procedure.
freezing their
Okay.
eggs before. Like women that have
Yeah.
endometriosis of the ovaries,
Hmm.
yes, that compromises the ovarian tissue. So with time, they'll get to a
Sit.
point where they are not producing
Wow.
good
So it
quality
progress.
acids.
Hmm.
So they could also consider freezing, their eggs. Even women, people for delayed parenthood, pregnancy for different reasons, social reasons, some other
Okay.
personal reasons, maybe due to career,
Hmm.
due to education, or even the fact that a man is not yet there, for marriage, Yes,
Hmm.
so and then you notice that you are going to your late 20s, early 30s, it
Yeah.
might be good for that kind of person, woman,
To
to consider,
consider.
freezing her eggs for future use, so
Hmm.
that when she gets to the point when she's ready, these eggs will give her a higher chance of success
Achieving
getting pregnant
pregnancy
than the eggs she will have at that time
when she's ready.
when she's ready, because we
Likely.
know that a woman's, fertility, the eggs in the ovaries decline with age.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yes, so those are some of, and then women that have other autoimmune diseases, like people that
Okay.
have lupus, people that have rheumatoid arthritis. Some of them, the
Hmm.
disease condition and even the management drugs given can affect the fertility potential of
Wow.
a woman.
Wow.
Then when women in maybe armed forces, and then you are
Oh.
going on
Okay.
deployment, a risky,
Yes. You don't know whether
yeah,
you'll return.
yeah. So that's another way, that
Wow.
your gametes could be saved.
Hmm.
Most so maybe you're in a relationship, but because of the nature of your work, you were not ready to
Yeah.
have a child at that time,
Hmm.
and then your lineage, I mean, your genes can
Can exactly be
continue.
preserved. Yes.
Yes,
At least they have something to hold
hold
that
on to
they
that.
can.
This
This
yeah,
is
we
from
don't
you.
pray for, we don't pray
Yes. The
for
other
what,
way. Yes.
yes, but then you prepare for every, option of what could happen. So
Hmm.
those are some of the reasons why someone would want to have their,
So
gametes preserved. Or
So viewers, we've heard some reasons. So right now, if you know you have a friend working with the armed force, please call them off right now. they need to they need to hear this. Yes, as much as it's not something we would want
pray
to say,
for,
but
yeah.
it can happen to anybody. And I know there's something they usually would sign. They sign with the fact that it's possible that you could lose your life in the course of this, and then
Okay.
it's possible that over it's possible as you're doing this the way I know they have some oaths that they take when they are going into
Okay.
their and all of that. So it's good that when they say going for a journey of no return, you don't know whether you will likely return
Return,
or not.
yes,
So
yes.
you could actually consider you could consider freezing your eggs, and then while you hope for the best, just in case something else happens along
Happens.
the way. You might have a spouse, and maybe that time you people don't even have, or you might be in a relationship and the person still feels they want to maintain
Part of you
their yes,
and
they could
continue that,
just treat with
yes.
that, and then probably a surrogate carry. Actually, I even watched a movie. So
Okay.
there was this movie that I watched. Well, he was married before. Was he married, or he was in love? Okay, I think he was married. And then somehow I think the lady had in her own case, I think she had cancer. But before it got to the point that they would do treatment, they decided to freeze her eggs.
Okay.
And then they prepared for the whole cancer treatment.
Mm.
But on should I say unfortunately for her, yes, he lost her.
Mm.
Now, by the time he lost her, he got into another relationship. Even though I feel in a way it was selfish of the husband, because
Okay.
he insisted that the current person he's getting
Must
married
carry
to
her
must carry the um
embryos
embryo
generated
generated
with her
from
eggs.
exactly with his first wife. Like that was how much I should I say loved her,
Loved her,
and
was
he wanted to
attached,
still,
keep
yes, he wanted
retain
to
a
see
part of her.
of her, like he
Mm.
wanted to still see a part of her. But it was well, it was, I don't know, it was the movie was a mixed feeling thing, because okay, he somehow made it look like they were doing IVF, so he somehow hid it
Oh,
from her. He
from,
concealed it in a
oh,
way
from her.
from her, so he made it look like okay, they are doing IVF,
AVF
and
using her
then
own eggs,
exactly,
not knowing.
whereas he was actually the until I think something along the line, because it's quite some time, something along the line happened, and then somehow they figured out that it was the
The late
previous yes
wife's
and all of that.
eggs.
So it was really not a good sign. The lady really couldn't put herself to even forgive him, because she's like,
Mm.
even if you opened up to me, I mean, this was really selfish of you. Why did you get
Yeah, you
married
should have
to me
asked
in the
exactly.
first place if you
Yeah,
still want to? So you see that in our own case, even though the spouse actually went about it the wrong
wrong
way,
way.
but
Yes.
because she was they considered freezing her egg so they could keep a part of her. So yes, as much as we're not praying for anything bad to
Mm,
happen, I
yeah.
think that's a good technology that I think people should embrace with regards to preserving your
Yeah.
fertility.
Fertility. Yeah.
So, as having said all of that, so we're back to egg freezing. So,
Freezing.
well, yes, someone might be wondering, well, in this part of the world, a lot of people feel like, I don't think I need to freeze my egg. I'm sure I'm going to get married, and they just keep feeling like, don't
Hoping.
worry, I'm fertile, nothing will happen.
Mhm.
So, why do you think ladies should consider freezing their eggs? Okay, or how can you try to make them see reasons to want to
Mm.
freeze their eggs?
Yeah, for okay, like in our own setting, our own culture, a woman doesn't you don't how will I say you don't really have everything regarding marriage or getting a suitable partner is not
Yeah,
really in your hands. As
yeah.
in a man must approach you. Our own culture
Yes.
does not
So
favor
for
a woman
I'm going to
approaching
ask the
a
man
man,
of
exactly,
yes.
asking a man out. The man
Mm,
must approach you. Yes, as a lady, you should make yourself visible, position
mm,
yourself to be seen by the right people, but you still want the man must still approach you. So if this man is not coming, do you keep your life on hold?
mm,
Yes. So it's in recent times we've had ladies are advanced in age, now married, but unfortunately they do not have eggs any longer. And
anymore.
the only way to have a child now is to consider using donor eggs. But
Mm,
if these ladies, when they were much younger, if somebody had made them aware of this, they would have
yes.
frozen their eggs, freeze their eggs. That's what they would have resorted to. We've had a
Mm,
case, a lot of cases, someone that froze her eggs. In fact, the problem they had was that the man, the problem, the infertility was due to them from the man.
man,
The man
okay.
didn't have good sperms,
Sperm.
but he wasn't open to any treatment for it. But she saw that she was advancing in age, and she
Yes.
took that wise decision to freeze her
Freezer
eggs. It
eggs.
took her almost 2 to 3 years to
Wow.
convince this man
Mm,
to be open to using donor sperm for the
mm,
treatment,
mm.
and it was her eggs that they had frozen when she was much younger that they resorted to using.
Wow,
Yes,
wow.
because like I said, a woman's fertility potential doesn't stay the same. The
Mm,
eggs continue to decline, ovarian
yeah.
reserve continues to decline. The eggs you had when you were much younger, if those eggs are frozen, you have a higher chance of getting pregnant from those
Hmm.
eggs than eggs you will produce later in life.
Later.
So when
Hmm.
a lady is getting to her late 20s, early 30s, I would encourage that lady, and there's no man on the horizon, and
Yeah.
you're able to afford it, it's something to invest in. I'll
Hmm.
encourage her to freeze her eggs. Yes.
Wow, wow. This is really it's really a welcome technology, because you really never can tell. Never
Yes.
can tell. There are some that might even be in relationships and it's not looking like. I've seen people that maybe they are in a prolonged relationship and they don't know where it's headed.
Where do we get the Lord of the Rings?
Oh,
But the
with,
Lord of the engagement ring,
oh
not
yes.
the not
Then
wedding
you're
band.
waiting exactly.
Yes.
So, well, you never know, and then or maybe something just comes up from the blues, and then the person you're hoping on, you
Just
just heard
ends
the
it.
person is getting married, and then you are shattered. You don't even know where to start from.
Yeah.
Age has just been
Certain.
counting in your eyes, and it
Yeah.
has already passed. Well, so I think it's something that ladies should actually embrace.
Yeah.
So
In recent
maybe,
times, I've even talked with someone, she's in her late 40s,
hmm,
now considering having children, and,
okay,
they have to opt for donor.
for
So, like,
donor.
she wasn't aware of this. If she
Oh
had known,
no,
she would
she
have
would have
frozen
done
her
the
eggs
eggs
and all.
and
She was
all
even
of
talking
that.
about another friend of hers, who at that
Yes.
same age was not still married. So
Hmm.
it was like, she wants to talk to her friend. Can she come and freeze her egg? I said, in
That
40s, this is not
the
a good time
quality
to
exactly.
quality would
Hmm.
have deteriorated, the number would have deteriorated. No, this is not a good
Hmm.
time to freeze eggs.
Freeze
Yeah,
their
it should
eggs.
have been done when she was much younger.
Okay, so what's when okay, as much as we're encouraging them to freeze their eggs, I'm sure they also want to know what this process entails. What would they need to do, or what does the whole how does this happen? Will I just come one day and they pick up the eggs,
No,
or is
no.
there a process involved?
Yeah.
Maybe you should tell us something
Yeah, so egg
about
freezing
it.
involves a process, like you said. It's not a one day thing. You need to come for evaluation.
Okay.
Some basic investigations will be done,
Mhm.
and then an IVF treatment will be planned. So that's
Oh,
how
oh
the eggs
wow.
are gotten and
Okay.
retrieved to be
Okay.
frozen through an
Oh,
IVF treatment. So
oh.
the woman will go through an IVF treatment. She'll take into theater when it's time. The eggs are retrieved. Then
Okay.
these eggs are now frozen. Yes, so
Hmm.
that's how the
So it's
thing
just that
goes.
in the case they are not fertilized as against the
No, no, they're
regular
not
IVF.
fertilized.
They are
Yes,
not
just the
fertilized.
eggs are
Okay, they
retrieved and
just
then the eggs are frozen. Yes.
okay. And then do they have to cut her to retrieve the
No,
eggs?
there's no
Okay.
cut. There's no cut
Oh.
on the abdomen. There's no
Mm.
surgical cut. Yes.
Okay. And
And
then
it's a
if
day procedure. She goes home that
mm,
very day
okay,
after
but the
the egg
process of
retrieval.
getting to the point of egg retrieval, how long do you think it can possibly cause them so they know what they are
Okay,
planning
so
for?
the IVF treatment process takes weeks. It could be between 2 to 3 weeks.
Okay.
Yes, to get to the point of retrieving the
In the
eggs.
eggs.
Yes.
Okay. So for someone watching, preparing, possible considering freezing your eggs, she said the process of them to stimulate your ovaries to be able to produce the eggs
Eggs. Yeah.
will take about 2 to 3 weeks. So it's something you prepare your mind
Yes.
for.
Oh,
Yes. Okay. So, but then I'm sure if you want to gather more information of how to go about this, like I said, you can always reach out to. Well, I know there's a number displayed on the screen, and then by the time you reach out to the number, they would actually channel you to the right person that would actually give you all the information that you need. If you need to book an online consultation to go
yeah.
about it, or you come in person, whichever
Yeah.
way, I know the Alps Hospital is opened for your service at any point in time. Okay, and then I know that I heard you saying something about age. Is there a particular age, or is there an age range that you would consider as best to consider freezing of egg? Like, okay, at this age, if you are past this age, it means that your chances.
Well, in science or medicine, you
Mm,
cannot say never, but we know
mm,
that the younger the woman is, the better the quality of the
of the
eggs. So
eggs.
late 20s,
Okay,
very early 30s,
okay.
yes. But if you're going to your 40s, late 30s, early 40s, we won't advise
Oh wow.
you to freeze your eggs.
Okay,
But there
okay.
can be variants. Some people can deviate from the normal. That's
Normal.
why we said there's evaluation done
Okay,
first. Yes,
first.
yes,
Mm,
to know that you have eggs, know that the quality of the eggs are good
mm,
before this IVF treatment process is performed. So you must do an evaluation. We won't just tell you, oh, at this age don't come again. Still
mm.
come, you'll be evaluated, and then we'll let you know what your options are.
And is it
Yeah.
possible for some young people to go through this procedure and they tell them that the quality of eggs they produce are not good enough for freezing?
Yes,
Oh
because
wow.
apart from age, there are other conditions that could affect
Mm,
egg quality. So
okay.
people that have polycystic ovary syndrome, some people with other medical conditions and all,
Conditions.
yes.
Wow.
So a lot of factors could affect egg quality, but we know age is one of
Is
the
a
major
major
ones. But we
factor.
know that generally, the younger
A
the age of
person's
a person, the better quality of eggs. But other factors could also affect
okay.
egg
So it
quality.
means that even when you're preparing this person, you also let them know that it depends on quality too. Because it means there are some
Yes,
quality that
that
might
might
not
not
be
be feasible.
freezable. Okay,
Yes,
because
yes.
I feel some people just feel once I'm seeing my period and
I'm
then
producing
I'm
eggs, and
producing
eggs are
egg.
good.
Yes,
Yes,
exactly. So
yes,
so that when, for instance, because I might have someone that's even gone through the process of trying to freeze their egg and they've told you the quality doesn't seem okay. Maybe you should try a second time, and then you feel
yes.
like it's weird. It's possible to actually go through the process like she has let us know, and the quality might not be good. But that's why she also mentioned that if all conditions are fine, a younger person
Should
is
have
actually
quality eggs, yeah.
stands a better chance to
Chance.
have better quality eggs. So and then well, I know that the freezing, when you talk about it, is it that they have a refrigerator that they freeze these eggs? 'Cause,
It's not a
the one that
refrigerator. It's not put in a refrigerator.
okay,
Yeah, this tank, a special,
okay,
yes,
mm,
cryopreservation tank, a tank that is used to freeze the eggs. They are frozen in liquid nitrogen, so
Oh, I
it's not a
see.
regular freeze.
Not get it anywhere. It's not
Yeah, it's not
anywhere
something
that
you
you
do.
can just.
No, how do you even
Mm,
get the eggs? It's not something you do at home. Do not do this
mm,
at home.
yeah,
Yeah.
it has to be
So there's a
a
special
standard
process
center
for
that
the
has
freezing.
all those facilities available for you,
Yes.
like Alps hospitals. So yeah, I'm sure that I'm also sure that it's not all fertility centers that
Offer
actually
the
have the,
service. No,
exactly. So
definitely not.
it's a good thing to know that one of the centers actually have a good fertility preservation should I say gadgets now or
Yeah, for
facility
units. Yeah,
as
cryopreservation units. Yeah.
yes to be able to manage freezing or preserving whatever garments that you
You
want to
want to
preserve.
preserve. Yeah.
Okay, and then someone is also asking how long can they freeze their eggs because they are wondering maybe and then when these eggs are frozen are they do they still maintain the quality or something will change when they are frozen.
Yeah, so eggs can be frozen for as long as you want.
Okay. Oh
Yes, they
wow.
can be frozen for as long as you want, and they maintain their quality.
Okay.
The quality does not deteriorate.
Hmm.
Yes, the quality at which they were frozen is the same
Yeah.
quality you get when they are thawed. For you
Wow.
to use them, these eggs now have to be thawed. Yes,
Wow.
so no, there should be no fear about that. So,
Okay.
especially when you do it in a good place like our center, everything is maintained so that the same quality at which the eggs were frozen is what you get when
Yeah.
they're thawed. Yes,
Okay. So, and that's why if the quality is not good enough, they'll tell you from the
from the
beginning
beginning. There's no point
because
freezing eggs
mm,
that would not give, would
right.
not
No,
increase the
like
chance of getting
yes. Mm,
getting pregnancies. Yes,
pregnancy. Wow.
because it's what garbage in garbage is what you freeze that the eggs are not going to transfer. They stay
Exactly. Wow.
static.
Mm.
Throughout the freezing process, they're not going
You're
to
just
improve.
placing them on hold.
Oh, exactly. You're
Mm.
placing them on hold. So it's
Okay.
what is frozen that you get. So if the qualities are not the type that could give rise to pregnancy in future, there's no point freezing them at all.
And then whenever this person is ready to use these
The
eggs,
eggs, yes.
do they just come and say I want to collect my eggs or there's a process because it's good that people know the because
Eggs are microscopic. You can't
mm,
collect eggs
and
like
then somebody might be thinking that
yes, I'll
once
just
I'm
come and
ready
collect
for
and
pregnancy
maybe
they'll just
swallow
put
it,
the egg
or I'll
and
swallow it.
it's even possible that they might be thinking that they'll put the egg and then they can just meet their partner and pregnancy
No,
will
no,
happen, so
no.
it's good
Okay,
that we let
that's
them
true.
know
Yes.
that
So
when eventually you're ready to use the
this
egg,
is
this is a likely process that you could
yeah. So
go
when
through.
you're ready to use these eggs, you're going to have to go through an IVF process too, but it's
Mm.
not as elaborate as the process to retrieve the eggs.
Egg.
Yes,
Mm.
but your body has to be prepared,
Okay.
especially the lining of the womb
Mm.
to receive these eggs, which would have now been
Be
fertilized
fertilized
with
with your
sperm from
partner's
your
sperm or
partner's sperm
whoever.
to get embryo. So you're going to
Mm.
have a frozen
Embryo
embryo transfer
transfer
at
sort
that
of.
time.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a treatment process. You're going to be on injections, you're going to be on drugs.
Drugs.
Yes,
Okay.
and then you'll be
Okay.
taken to theater for this embryo transfer to be
Mm.
done.
So if you must use eggs that are frozen,
Frozen,
it
yes,
means that you must it has to be fertilization has to be done outside. It
in
has
the
to be
lab.
IVF way
Yes,
and not them putting the
the
egg
eggs
inside
back
you and
into
then
you.
you you meet your partner and then pregnancy happen. It has to be the IVF route. Okay. So, having said a lot about fertility preservation, egg freezing, what will be your counsel to the general public with regards to um, fertility preservation and then narrowing it down to egg freezing?
Yeah, so I think this method is to help the general populace. It's good that people are aware. We should be open to it. Our society has changed. Those days, our parents at the age of 16, age of 17, 18, they are married. By the
Yeah.
time they are 25, they finish having all their children. But the society
Mm,
has changed. A lot of things delay people from having children when they would have wanted to have
have
children.
children.
Career, education, other personal issues, other social issues, you know. So we should be open to it, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't have a child biologically related to you in future.
Mm,
Fertility preservation, egg freezing is an option for you. So it's something our ladies, should take up so that you're not at the mercy of the men. Somehow, they say it's a
yeah.
man's world, as if women
Mm,
are at the mercy of men,
men,
until the
that's
man approaches you. So somehow, you're taking your life or your destiny in your hands in a
yeah,
way.
yeah.
Yes, you have your eggs frozen whenever the right man comes. So you're not pressured to make a wrong choice with regards to marriage, because you know that your clock is ticking,
That's true.
exactly. So you take
Yes.
your time, make the right choice at any time. You know that
Mm.
your eggs are frozen somewhere, and you can always have children that are biologically connected to you.
And then now you're even saying this, I actually think that it's not in with the world we are today. We
Yeah,
definitely know that not everybody will get married, and
exactly.
if you freeze your eggs at a young age, later on you might want to have children. Nothing stops you from being a single mom. I
Mm.
mean, if for
Yeah.
instance a man is not forthcoming, doesn't mean you shouldn't have children. So if you've frozen your eggs, for instance, at that point you really won't be thinking of, okay, having to do donor egg. And because now if you're now doing donor egg, you're not like, what's the essence of having the children now, because I'm
Yeah.
single, and then I'm
Exactly.
still not, it's not my gamete, and then it's not, maybe at that point you're thinking of using a donor sperm, for instance, so you're just like I'm more like a surrogate.
Yeah. So
Okay,
it keeps
so
your options open
it keeps
anyway.
your options
Yes, it
open,
keeps
it
your
keeps your
options
options
open.
open. We know that,
Yeah.
yes, as much as it seems like marriage is the
The
legal,
best
yes, and the best way to
environment to
environment, yes,
bring
that
up a child
supports child
and upbringing.
bringing,
Yes.
exactly. So if but then we have people, because we have to be realistic in our world right now, we have people that find themselves in a situation where they're in their 40s, and no man, nothing is
Will
happening,
come in
and they're like, I cannot keep living alone. I want to have kids. For instance, such a person, if the person has actually
in
frozen her
our
eggs,
eggs. Yes.
if she's even not willing to carry the pregnancy, for instance, and she decides that she wants to consider a surrogate,
Surrogate.
she's happy because she knows it's her gamete. So she
Exactly.
still has some connection.
Connection.
So by the
Yes.
time even the person is giving birth to that child for her, for instance, if it's a surrogate, she knows it's more like it's still my child because my gamete
Exactly.
is
It is.
related to this.
Yes.
So it keeps you, it keeps your options open, just in case you find yourself in some
That
form of
situation. Yeah.
yes, exactly, because you never know.
Mm.
And yes, I also think that parents that know that their children have some form of conditions that could become a problem to them later on in life, because I've actually heard a parent that said that by her daughter's 20th birthday she was going
Yes.
to consider taking her for prepare stimulation for them to freeze
Egg
her eggs, because
freezing.
I think at some point she had to come in for egg donation, because okay, I think
Okay.
she
The
was in a
mother
new,
herself.
yes, I
Okay.
think she was probably in a new marriage or something, and she had a child from a previous marriage, and
Okay.
then now in a new marriage, age has caught up with her.
Mature
And then
ovarian
now,
failure.
yes,
Even
so
people
and
at
then now
risk of
she's thinking of carrying having babies, and then at that point she had to
no
pick the option of egg donation. She's like,
mm,
if she has frozen her egg, that
eggs.
so
Yeah.
she's
That's
just she was
something to
like,
fall back on.
yes, and she was like that right now, that her 20th birthday gift to her baby girl is that
Egg
she's
freezing.
going to freeze her egg, because you never know what the future holds, just
Yeah.
to have something to fall back in. Yeah, at some point later on in life they might really not even use it, because okay, she might end
They're
up
just
getting
getting married
married,
at
and
time,
but
but
just to
that
play
is fair.
safe,
Yes.
to
That
play
is
safe.
yeah.
So I really think that it's a wake up call to both parents, to young ladies,
Yeah,
to the
our
women
parents
at
should even
large.
counsel their,
Mm.
their matured single ladies. This is an option
Mm.
for them. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
just to save and preserve their fertility life and their biological line as well.
yeah.
It's been so good having you,
Thank you,
Dr.
Ruth.
Debbie. Yeah, I
Thank
really
you.
enjoyed this
Interesting discussion this afternoon.
this discussion with you, and I know that our viewers had gotten a lot from this session today. So, dear viewers, we really hope that as you've gotten this information, you act on it and you do what is necessary so that you're able to preserve your fertility. Once again, thank you for staying tuned and staying glued to your screen on this chat today. We hope to see you sometime on Friday. Have a lovely evening.